What's up, everybody? You're listening to WKCR 89.9 FM. This is Notes from Underground Radio. This is a very special broadcast. It is our Valentine's Day broadcast. We're grateful to all the people tuning in. Hope you got a bae with you. If you don't, we love you just as much. We're going to have a great interview. We actually have the artists in the station. But before I introduce them, I want to introduce my co-hosts. Say what's up, y'all.
Y'all, it is Grant. I hope y'all doing great on this Valentine's Day. It is actually my birthday today, guys. So,
hey,
happy birthday, Grant.
Love. But I hope you guys are having a great Valentine's Day. This is gonna be a great interview. Very excited. Great music gonna be played tonight, y'all.
Hell yeah. And yo, it's Emet. What's going on, y'all? Who else we got in the studio with us? Say what's up.
So y'all, I'm Low.bō. Happy to be here.
Hell yeah, we happy to have you, bro. For everybody listening, that is Low.bō. We have a very special interview tonight. Stay tuned. All right, y'all. Now for the interview section. If you haven't already heard, Low.bō has a very dreamy alternative R&B sound with some indie textures and confessional lyrics, perfect for a late night with your boo. And we're gonna get into this interview first. Low.bō, tell us about how you came up with that name.
So keep it a bean, bro. It's not like some super deep story. So wolves are my favorite animals, and Lobo in Spanish is wolf, but it's spelled like L-O-B-O. So when I was like starting to like really try to take the music shit serious, I was like, okay, this kind of sounds tough. But I went on Spotify. I was like, oh, let me see if other like people got that same name.
Yeah.
And I kept looking and it was like, oh, it's like a gajillion names with the same name. So I was like, okay, word, can't do that. So I tried L-O-W-B-O with like no dot or nothing like that. Somebody else had that name.
No way.
But I was like, bro, I'm not folding on his name.
Oh,
so I just put the dot and I tried a little like line over top and nobody had that. And I was like, okay, word. And then I like sketched it out to see like how it would look good if I ever like signed something. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna keep this.
Yeah.
And if anybody else got beef with it, I don't really care. So I'm gonna just rock with this, and that's just that.
It is definitely a really unique signature as well. Like that line over the O is hella cool. So like quickly tell us, what artists inspire you?
Shit. Honestly, it always feels like the same list, but I would say like Frank, Dijon,
Love it.
Choker, Nirvana, Tim Impala, Midnight Trust. Damn. I would say that's like the main ones that's really had me like, oh yeah, like I could really do this shit for real. But like I get inspired by a lot of different artists. Like it don't even gotta be like bigger shit for real. Like a lot of my ear has been going to like a lot of more like smaller indie artists for real. Like I've been listening to this duo from California called Gia, and they a brother sister group.
Whoa.
And they just go crazy, bruh. Like I've never heard nobody like that for real. Like just, I'm lying. There's another group that I really like too. They're like also siblings. They're twin brothers. Their name is Cairo.
That's
and
hard.
they're also based in LA. But their shit, Gia and Cairo, two duos that are just like, yeah, them niggas is tough. I'm not gonna lie.
You mentioned in the inspo a lot of like rock and R&B artists. Do you consider yourself an R&B artist? What genre would you say your music falls into, if you even want to categorize it in a specific genre?
I think it's funny. I was just having a conversation with my friends about this shit too, where I was like, I feel like when it comes to black artists, you kind of get stuck in this generalization of like, oh, cause you sing, you make R&B now. You know what I'm saying? But it's like a lot of my inspiration is like, yeah, I mentioned R&B artists as some of my inspos, but at the same time, they're not just solely like you're not listening to Frank Ocean and comparing them to like Donnell Jones. You know what I'm saying? Like those are two different worlds, and it's like I take so much inspiration from different genres. The only reason why my voice would be considered R&B is just because of the way my voice sounds. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's still alternative R&B if it was a category, but like I try to just blend so much shit that it's like if you want to categorize it as that, then cool. You want to put it as alternative indie, alternative whatever the fuck you want to put it. I really don't care, just as long as you like it. You know what I'm saying?
And, continuing on from that, you spoke about, Dijon. That's definitely someone I heard that influence, and that's one of my favorite artists of all time. And so, that's an artist that also really blends the lines between genres. So as a musician in that landscape, do you feel like it plays to your advantage as a creator to where people are now open to more blurred lines in genres?
I would say for myself personally, because I always feel like people were like always blending genres. Like listening to like Tori like that's an artist that does sound like that too. But it's like for me, like being from Baltimore and stuff like that, a lot of artists that I was listening to, like in my teenage years leading into like college and stuff was like, I don't know, like Q the Fool, like that's a PG artist, or like Lord Scooter from Baltimore, or like Brent Faiyaz, or you had like Rico Nasties, you had Wale, you had Shy Glizzy, all these people that was like in these different forms of music, which we was all appreciating and everything, but it just was like, it wasn't something that I felt like I fit in, because I don't rap, and then it's like some of the subject matter I was hearing about in R&B and stuff, I didn't really feel like I resonated with, especially as I got older and shit like that. So when I heard Dijon, I actually got put on the Dijon through a past relationship I was in, and when I was like, oh shit, like, it's like, this nigga's crazy, woo. And she was like, oh yeah, he's from Baltimore. And I was like, what? So I didn't know that, like, that was the first time I heard a Baltimore artist sound like that. You know what I mean? So it made me feel like, well, shit, if there's somebody else from my city that could just go and just do whatever the fuck they feel like they could do, there's no reason why I shouldn't feel comfortable to do the same thing. Because that was something I felt very insecure about, especially like when I first started singing. I used to get the Brent Faiyaz comparison a lot because of the tone of my voice. Word. And even when I listen to like older stuff, like stuff that I never put out, and I was listening, I was like, okay, I can understand why people would say that now. But it's like, it gets to a point that as I get older and I keep getting better and I'm making different stuff, it's like, how many times you gonna try to compare me to this person? Even though he's fire, I'm not Brent. I don't want to be Brent. I want to be me.
Yeah.
And I can only do but so much at the end of the day. If people still want to compare me to this person, it's cool. But I'd rather be compared to like 3 or 4 people at this point. Because I've heard people be like, oh, it's like Brent mixed with Dijon mixed with Frank. I'd rather hear something like
I'm
that.
me, bro. I'm me.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm fine with hearing those 3 or, amalgamation of whoever from different parts than just being like, oh, like, first note, he sound like Wooty Woo. You know what I'm saying? I don't like when people do that, even when it comes to like rap artists and stuff like that, or other singers too. Because like, to me, it feels very diminishing. Because like, you're not in that room with that person. You don't know what their experiences is and stuff like that. And it's like, granted, even though people only compare you to people that they like, at the same time, it still kind of feels like, artists are sensitive. I know I'm sensitive to a certain degree. So it's like, I'd rather hear somebody just say, oh, that shit fire, compared to being like, oh, yo, you sound like Wooty Woo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I know exactly what you mean. And honestly, like, it speaks to what you were talking about earlier about how so many people are quick to put black artists in a box, right? And then also, you mentioned being from Baltimore. That's not a city that's really known for producing musical greats like a New York City or Chicago or LA. So I wanted to ask, what does it mean to see an artist like Dijon, or even most recently, Turnstile just won a Grammy, and they're from Baltimore? Like, is that inspiring to know that you can create alternative type music and that's going to be well received by the populace?
I think that, one, that's just a huge W for the city, for real, because like you said, that shit just don't regularly just happen, you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot, like, even outside of Baltimore, I think just the DMV itself has been getting a lot of love and a lot of attention too. So it feels good to see like more folks, because it's always gonna be like, oh, I'm, like how we was talking earlier, like, you're from Virginia, I'm from Baltimore, but it's like, at the end of the day, whether you from there or you from there, we all still DMV adjacent. So it's like, if I go to LA or I'm out here and niggas ask me where I'm from, I'm gonna always say I'm from Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you meet other people in different states that are from the same city as you, or at least close to that area, you're going to be like, like it's like that vibe for real. So it's just, it feels good to like have more eyes coming onto the city for real, and just seeing like people get that attention. Like, there's a producer from Baltimore named DK the Punisher who just won a Grammy too for helping produce and Folded by Kalani.
Hard.
Right. So it's like, it's just more and more wins for the city for real. And congratulations to Turnstile, congratulations to DK, congratulations to everybody who won a Grammy. But it's just fire to see that shit,
Hell yeah. So you're from Baltimore. and then you did move out to the New York City area, New Jersey, and then to New York. Tell us about why you moved out here. What made you move from Jersey to the city? Give us a little backstory. You teased it earlier. We were just chatting.
So I moved from Baltimore to Jersey after college, because it was like a mix of two things. It was like, I was doing photography at the time. I was like, I feel like I've done everything I wanted to do back home. Let me move to Jersey, because one of my close friends from DC was also moving there too. And she was just like, oh yeah, you could just, if you want to move, let's do it. So it was kind of like off the whim type shit. It was not planned at all. And then while I was living in Jersey, I was there for like 2 years. And during that time, I met this artist named Life of Tom. And me and him, we at first did not fuck with each other at all.
What?
No. Get
into it.
Because I went to a session. This is like when I first moved to Jersey. I did a session in New York that was like deep as fuck in Brooklyn. Mind you, I lived in Jersey City and I was not driving. So it was just hella trains to go from one end to the other. Yeah. I'm there for 12 hours and just the session just was not it. Like at all. Like,
damn.
We just did not vibe as people or as like collaborators. But it just was what it was. But obviously, you spend 12 hours in a studio, you don't make shit, you're going to be pissed.
Yeah.
So I'm going back all the way to Jersey, and him and my roommate were cool at the time. So my roommate picked me up. We're all in the car. I'm just venting. I'm just like, I'm pissed off. And Tom was like, oh, he's just bad energy. He's just bad vibes. And then we ended up having a conversation later down the line. And then me and him just became like mad tight. So he found out I started making music. He was really like, honestly, he was one of the first people in the city or in general that really just wholeheartedly believed in me harder than I believed in myself. And then when I was like, oh, my lease is about to end in Jersey, I might move back to Maryland, I might move like wherever else because I don't really want to be here anymore. He was like, yo, just move to New York, just live with me. And I was like, respectfully, bro, I'm not living in a box. So he was like, nah, like the space is fire, I'm gonna rock with you on the rent. And we sorted it out like that, and ever since then that's been my dog, man. He really got me out here and honestly did help change a lot of things in the trajectory of like my career. So definitely appreciate that brother, for real. That's my dog.
Shout out Tom, bro. Shout out Tom. Yeah. He's a great dude, great energy, both of y'all. And it's always nice to have someone believe in you in a new place. I want to ask, like, y'all got any music together? I know you said you live together. You don't want to talk too much about it. You don't need to, but we would love that.
We've worked on demos like maybe 2 times, but our workflow is like very, very, very different. Like he's like in the studio every day. Like every day, doesn't get home till maybe like 2-3 in the morning. And for me, I'm very much like I'm gonna do it when I feel like doing it.
Yeah.
Cause like if I'm not feeling it, I'm not gonna feel it. But I spend a lot of time by myself. Like, I produce a lot of my stuff by myself in the crib, and he goes to studios. He'll make stuff in the crib sometimes, but it's usually just like stuff he's already worked on in other places. Where me, I'm like, I feel the most comfortable in spaces that feel like home. So even like when I go to like studios and stuff like that, I don't like studios that feel like four walls for real. I like it where there's like a couch or like rugs and shit like that. Like I want it to feel like I'm in somebody's living room making music. And that is what feels most comfortable for me. So we've talked about making stuff, but I think just like as like friends and also as artists as well, I think we both just really respect each other's artistry and just understand that we're both veering in different paths. But it's like at the end of the day, like that nigga's tough, but I'm tough too. And sometimes we be in like friendly competition and we're like, yeah, nigga, well, you show me this, well, let me show you what I just fucking made, or vice versa. And it's just like, it's really fire because it's like,
each other though,
yeah, like we both started at like a place where it was like people weren't really like, not to say receptive, but it just was really more so like we just have to really get out the mud for real. So it's seeing him do his thing, seeing me do my thing, and just the opportunities just like, it's like whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. It's like, yo, this shit is crazy. Like, we both was just here 2 years ago, and now we getting this. We getting this look, this offer. This person's fucking with us. That person's fucking with us, or whatever case may be. It's just, it's crazy to see that, and it's just like, we both just be like, yo, like, next year is just gonna be crazy. Like, this year's gonna be crazy. Whoop-de-woo. And it's just, yeah, it's tough to see that.
And speaking on, more collabs that are probably more within, like, your landscape of music, you recently were on a song with Black Hibiscus and Moye.
That's my dog.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, shout out them. The track Nocturnal, great song by the way. You know, with Steph Chow, which is incredible. How did this track come to be, and like, what's it like working with them? What's that process like?
So that was actually the first time that like we had ever got in like a studio session for real, and it was at Black Hibiscus' crib for real. So he showed me the demo, and he just gave me a lot of range to just do stuff. Like I laid some guitar bits on there and stuff like that, and we just kept going over like vocal chops. Like originally I had like a verse on there and I did the hook as well, but then Steph came on, she played guitar, and then she laid down her verse, and then we all got together. We pulled up to Moye and Black Hibiscus' crib, and we were just like trying to figure out how we was gonna do the song. And I was like, bro, Steph verse is way harder than mine. Like, keep this shit, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. So that's how we finally just kept the arrangement and stuff like that. And I'm really glad that Steph had did that on the song as well, because, you know, she's an incredible producer, but she's also a great artist as well. 100%. And I'm really glad that like she was able to showcase that on the song too. And it's just really dope, bro. But me and him have just been like, he's one. It's always tough when you have that one artist that like every time y'all get in a session, y'all make some fire shit. Yeah. Like we have a I don't even know if I'm supposed to talk about this, but we have another song. I can't tell you when it's gonna come out because I don't know when it's gonna come out, but he knows when it's gonna come out, and that's probably like one of my favorite songs that like I've ever worked with on anyone. Like dead ass. That shit is crazy. Okay. Like I'll probably show y'all after the show for real.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like we
gonna have to.
We gonna need to hear that
bro.
shit.
Yeah,
well, shit. The listeners before this would have just heard Husk, your last album that came out this past fall. So you know it's winter, but y'all could definitely still bump it. Good for Valentine's Day. A lot of sweet sounds on there.
Right.
But tell us about the idea behind this record and what are you going for?
So Husk kind of, I always say I'm like a accidental album type of artist, because I don't make like songs with the intention of like creating a project. It's just somehow they all thematically work in a way that it's like, okay, this can fit as a project. So it felt like the end of like a trilogy, quote unquote, because when I made Circa, that was like a lot of me just kind of getting through like just young nigga shit, bro. I was talking about moving from my family. I didn't have any family in New York or Jersey, so I was dealing with a lot of that shit, like being unemployed, whoopty, and all that other stuff. I keep saying whoopty woo. And then Impala was more so, I had just got out of a relationship, and at that time I was like, okay, I have two options. I can either really sit here and be sad about this shit, or like I could take that energy and put it into something that's gonna be more productive. So a lot of Impala was like the first beats ever really made for real. So it was a lot of just me just really locking in and just like, I don't know if it was the most healthiest way, but it sure as hell yielded some results. Just like trying to just ignore how it was, like what I was dealing with, to just kind of just lock in on just making.
Did you produce that whole record, Impala?
Basically like damn near. I think there's only let me think. There's only 2 songs on there that I did not. No, 3 songs I didn't produce on there. That's Duality, Silver Haze, and She Only Likes Me for the Money I Don't Have. But everything else I produced, and then just had like other people that could add little flavors of stuff onto those songs for real. Like Sativa was like the 3rd beat I ever made.
Wow.
No way.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for the listeners who don't know, Impala, the last record, has him on the cover with a guitar, like pedal board, amp, whole vibe. I think a reel to reel too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just to paint the picture. But.
Yeah. And then Husk was like kind of like the ending chapter of that, because it was more so about me just kind of going over those experiences and just being like, oh, I'm letting that shit go. Like the reason I called the project Husk was because a husk is basically just a shell. So I wanted to talk about how I went through these things. Those things formed the person I've become, or I'm like growing into, but I'm like letting that shit go, bro, because I'm not going to just keep living in the past. Like I gotta move forward type shit. And that's really what Husk was really about. It was just like just recollecting on just past events and just you know, getting that shit off and letting that shit go for real.
Yeah, let it go.
And
Yeah,
you know,
real.
getting more into, the album and like the lettering and the design behind that. Some of the tracks are all lowercase and some of them are all caps. What goes into deciding which tracks are uppercase and which are lowercase?
Also got some regularly capitalized tracks as well. Maybe only one. I don't know, but yeah.
So it's very simple. The lowercase ones was kind of like on some softer shit, and then the capitalized ones was like the ones that's kind of like a lot more like in your face, like upbeat for real. So that was really just all it was. So if you want the softer shit, it's the lowercase stuff. If you want the more like in your face, then it's the capitalized shit. But that's just all it is.
The subtle messaging,
Yeah.
You mentioned producing most of the tracks off Impala. Did you produce all or most of Husk as well?
Mm-hmm.
And when you produce that, like, I'm imagining you're sort of like a creative director in the sense that, you're deciding what goes where, and then if you're working with other people, ultimately it goes down to your ear. So can you tell us a little bit about, like, when did you start fully producing your stuff? How did that come about? What does it mean on this album?
So to be honest, I've only been producing for like, I don't want to lie, probably like just 3 years. Shy of 3 years.
Wow.
That's insane.
And
What?
I didn't grow up like playing instruments or nothing.
What? Really?
I grew up singing like my whole life in church or like in school. But
So
like,
you had the musicality in you already.
yeah, but like what really made me start producing for real was because I would get sent so many beats that I just did not like, or like, it was just really that, and I just didn't want to go on like
Fuck it, I'm
YouTube
doing
and
it.
just like steal beats off people because people want to make you buy like $300 leases and you want to do it for every song. No, I'm not doing that shit. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just learn how to do it. And a lot of my friends in Jersey, they play like guitar and bass, so I would jam with them, even though I fucking suck. It was like, I'm getting my reps in. So I would leave the session and be like, damn, I don't ever want to play like that again. I don't want to be the nigga in the room that can't do shit for real. So I just spent hella time like just working on shit. And still, I'm not like the craziest guitarist in the world, but like I can do better than what I was doing last year for real.
That's what
awesome,
it's about.
bro.
Yeah, so that was like kind of like the Impala phase. And then when I got the Husk, I was like, okay, Impala did really good, which I was very surprised about. And I was like, okay, Husk was kind of like an inner battle type of thing, because I was like, bro, I really have to up it now. And I was like, damn, that's really going to like push me to just do more. So I just was really just like trying to lock in as much as I can, especially like I still had like a 9 to 5 and stuff like that too. So I'd be tired as shit coming home, and I was like, well, gotta lock in now.
Yeah.
Might as well just do this shit. So
More like the move from Impala to Husk. On the album covers, as we kind of talked about, you got the cables strewn about all over the floor in both. But in the second, in Husk, we have like, it's a little more like blurry. Tell us about like that move. How do you think about the visuals in relationship to the albums and like their greater, I guess, like ideas behind them?
So Impala, I was like, I just knew that's how I wanted the cover to feel. Like, because it really didn't take a lot. Like, I didn't really have that much when I was making it. It was just really just kind of these things. And I just wanted to kind of like put that in the shot. But the Husk cover art originally was some totally different thing. Like, I had my man's Tom. He did the graphic design. My friend Eric, he shot the photos, like the initial ones. And at first it was just like me just like walking type of thing. But when we were shooting the live videos for Husk, Eric had sent me a lot of like the BTS photos. And one of the photo that I chose for Husk, I was like, oh, this is actually like really fire. And my managers, they were like, why the fuck you want to pick this one? Like, we got this fire, tough ass one right here. And I was like, I don't know. This one just kind of makes more sense to me. So I chose that one just because, like, the songs are kind of like blurred in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, going from one point. It's not like a chronological, like the songs weren't even made in chronological order for you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just the way that I had the track list, they all start it's all a very sequential way, but the songs were not made at the same time. Like, does that, like, I hope what I'm saying makes sense, bro.
No, I'm thinking
it
like,
does.
yeah, I definitely feel that, because on the most recent album cover, it does feel intimate. It feels like you're there with you, especially like the blurriness. And I feel like you feel that throughout the record too. Like,
Yeah.
we're really getting like a view inside your mind, I guess.
Bro, this
But-
type of album that like I'll listen to late at night, you know what I'm saying, when it's like just me, And it really does feel like
Or just you and Shorty because it's February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day.
facts with Shorty.
Hey.
Shout out Shorty, bro.
Yeah, it's a great album. And going along with the album, you actually released a film. So was that the plan all along? Or did that just happen to come about and you were like, fuck it, let's do it?
Nah.
And also, Steph is in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it's crazy connections.
Yeah, it was. That was always the plan, honestly, cause I like music videos, but I feel like you get more. I feel like music videos wouldn't have really done the project justice for real for the final product, and I just wanted to kind of give it like a more in the room feel for real. Like I like more like videos where it's just like live shit. Like you're seeing all the flaws and you're seeing people actually like playing these songs for real. And I think it also kind of gave like that performance style that I do to like a broader view, because like I don't perform the songs the same way that they're made. So it's like the live versions sound totally different than like the recorded versions. And I like that because it's like, if you want to listen to this version, you have it. If you want to listen to that version, just go on YouTube and just fucking watch the shit. But I just want to kind of bring more people into that, like, into like my world instead of trying to create one, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, totally. And it's beautifully shot as well.
Thanks, man. Shout out Bryce, bro. And the
what's
team.
your favorite, what's your favorite album film? Because there's like a few that have come out that are notable to me. And
I'll be honest, Puma Blue.
Okay.
Yeah, he like, it just felt like they did it in like a grand hall type shit, and he had like 3 women singing in the backgrounds, and all the artists were like surrounded, and it's so beautifully shot. And then the only other one that I really like, it was not really like a film per se, but I like the way it was shot. It's Nick Hakim singing Vertigo for Majestic Sessions. Bro, that shit is so fire. Like the way it was shot, the way everything just sounds together. And that video is probably like, I think it's like 6 or 7 years old, but that was one of the references I was using when I was like, oh, we should do the live. This is how I kind of want to see it come about. But like, bro, take the time to watch that shit, bro. That shit is beautiful.
No, that's good, Rex. That's good, Rex. I mean, shit, let's talk about Pretty Soon.
Yeah. So
tell us about it.
So shout out Ash and Kenji, bro. So Ash is the homie. He's also the homie Nolly's producer and engineer. And he was telling me, he was like, bro, we were just chilling in the studio. He was like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I'm working on this like producer album right now, and I really just want to bring all of my favorite artists onto this project. And he was like, yeah, like I really want to be a part of this. And I was like, yeah, bro, like I'm down. Just send me beats and let's just see what like really clicks. And initially when he sent me beats, like I have a very like distinct palette of like the things I really resonate with, and Ash is very, very in tune with jazz. And as much as I appreciate jazz, that's not really the type of music that I really like make, but the beats were so tough. And I remember I was like, okay, I had the demo project for like probably a month at the time, and I was driving back from Baltimore back to New York, and I was like, it's a long ass drive, let's just, I'm gonna listen to it and see like what I like, let's see the song. So I'm listening to it and I'm like, bro, these songs are so crazy. I can't even tell you who's on there, bro, but he got some shit on there, I ain't gonna lie.
All right.
And I heard the song, the demo with Kenji, and it was just a totally different beat I never heard like Ash produce before. And I was like, I called him, I was like, bro, like I ain't gonna lie, if Kenji ain't record a second verse, like is it cool with him and you if I like try this? He was like, yeah, I don't care. Kenji was like, yeah, like go ahead, do it. So I went home. Like as soon as I like got back in the crib, I didn't even unpack any of my shit. I just opened my laptop and just was like, just tried different takes, and then I called Ash and I was like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I think I got some shit right now. And I showed him the song and he was like, yeah, bro, send me all that shit right now. And Excuse me. And that's kind of how that like came to be for real. But I'm just grateful that Ash even like thought of me to be on there for real. Cause yeah, you just never know who's gonna like your shit, bro. Like
Facts.
You just never know. So shout out Ash, bro, and I'm very excited for y'all to hear pretty soon, bro. Yeah.
Stay tuned for pretty soon. Coming pretty soon.
You know, and,
pretty soon, coming pretty soon. So.
you know, moving on, you know, into the future, into, you know, some quick fire questions. So you turned 27 last month. How was 26 for you, number one, and what's in store for 27? Yeah, happy belated, yeah.
Bro, 27 has been, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm still coming to terms with the fact I'm 27, bro. That shit don't even sound real. 26 felt like it went by so quick, but I definitely learned a lot, you know, at 26, you know, a lot about myself and just kind of like having to take shit on the chin and then just bounce back for real. But I'm very blessed to have made it to 27. I have a lot of friends that didn't make it to 27, so I'm grateful for that. And yeah, I don't know. I'm grateful to God to even be here, bro. You know, 26 was cool, but that shit over with. I ain't going back. So 27, I'm hoping it's gonna, you know, it's gonna be a good one. Hopefully, you know.
All right, next rapid fire question. What's your plan B if this all doesn't work out?
What plan B?
I like
Hey.
I like that.
Oh, bro, I like that.
Bro, I made it this far, bro. I just gotta keep going, bro.
Shit, what's the best R&B album of all time to you? And rock, actually. I need both.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh
One at a time.
God.
Yeah, one at a time, but you know what I'm saying? Give me both.
The best R&B album of
For you,
all
for
time
you.
for me?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah, it's a
bro!
tough
This
one.
is a crazy. This is a. I'm not gonna lie. This is a crazy take, but this is solely, and I just want to let it be known. This is solely just for nostalgia's sake, and because it's so tied to so many memories.
Okay.
Bro, Party Next Door's first album,
Okay.
Ooh.
bro.
I like that.
Okay.
I heard "Break from Toronto" in Spanish class at fucking 16, and I was like, bro,
Yo.
this shit changed my life,
that
bro.
first listen is actually legendary.
Bro, that's like one of the first projects I actually got a vinyl for. Like, that album is fucking crazy. And then for rock, I'm about to sound basic as shit, bro. Fuck. But like, man, I ain't gonna lie. Current changed my life too. By Tame Impala, I know that's like psychedelic rock, but bro,
Definitely.
my first time bumming that shit, bro, I was high. I was smoking weed in the car with the homies, and heard "Let It Happen" for the first time. Nigga, that shit changed my life. I'm like, oh shit.
Nah, me too.
Bro, that shit was crazy.
Crazy shit. Shit. Oh, when was the last time you were starstruck?
The last time I was starstruck? Oh, damn. Damn, that's kind of, I don't even know. The last time I was starstruck? Oh, fuck.
Was it Shorty?
It is Valentine's Day.
Damn, I'm really trying to think, bro. I think more, instead of starstruck, I think one encounter that really caught me off guard was I went to LA last year and I linked up with my homie Parker and we went to some like random coffee shop and we saw Phoebe Bridgers.
That's hard.
Yeah, that was crazy. And I was like, oh, wow. And I was really into the Phoebe Bridgers at that time, too. I was really bumping her shit. So I was like, is that who the fuck I thought that was? Like, yep, we just came in and came out. And I was like, wow. That was tough.
Yo, Phoebe Bridgers, holla at Low.bō. Nah, Jude, you got one more?
Yeah. What's your message to the world, man?
My message to the world. Shit, bro. Keep breathing and keep going.
Keep breathing, keep going. You heard it here first. This has been Low.bō. Thank you so much for coming on the radio today with us, man.
No problem. Thank y'all for having me, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I fuck with y'all niggas. Y'all cool as shit.
Yeah. We fuck with this shit, bro. Love.
So we're going to take a quick break, listen to a few more tracks, and then we'll get into a live performance a little bit later. Stay tuned.